Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and I want to talk about World's Finest Green Arrow and Green Lantern. So one thing that I did when I read this book, I completely forgot that this was like a prequel special because World's Finest is also a prequel book that's taking place back in the past. So because it's taking place back in the past, of course, everything that's happening is before current events of the DC comic book. I don't know why I thought that this was taking place. This was taking place like literally a few months after Green Arrow annual and Green Lanterns books, but it is what it is. Anyway, the story starts with them driving down the road and Hal telling him like he's like, ain't this the life, Oliver? We were driving down with the sun in our faces, no care in the world. He said for you, but I told Dinah will be gone. I mean, we'll be back by a week. And he was like, oh, stop worrying so much or whatever. And of course they're speeding through. A cop is about to pull him over. But the person who gets out the cop car, has a grenade, and then he was like, "Hey, I don't think police officers are supposed to have a grenade launcher." And then guess who comes out? Deathstroke the Terminator. He shoots a grenade launcher at them, and of course, Hal Jordan jumps in and starts fighting him. And Deadshot is already ready. Oliver's like, wait, hold on, we need a plan. And he was like, no, I got this, or whatever. And then while Deathstroke is shooting that Green Lantern, right? He shoots him and it was successful, or whatever. He was like, how in the world? He was like, idiot, stay still. And then he was like, do you know who this is? He's like, no clue. I don't know it. I don't know this guy at all. He was like, can you create a distraction for us? And he was like, Deathstroke, you hear him on an intercom, like approaching target right now. And then Hal creates a green tornado, and then Green Arrow was like, Barry would be proud. And then you just see Deathstroke like, oh fuck. And then he was like, let's move, we gotta hurry up and go. And then Deathstroke is also like, target is on the move right into the trap. And he was like, you gotta be careful. He was like, what happened? Green Arrow take a knife out, and then he takes the bullet out of his arm, and he was like, oh, it's a yellow bullet. And he was like, no wonder it went through my shield. So apparently Deathstroke studied them. Yes, I think a lot of people forget that Hal Jordan's number one weakness is yellow. The color yellow is the Green Lantern's weaknesses. So yeah, that's why I know some people like, well, how would a bullet get through? A yellow bullet. It's just like when Batman and Robin painted this entire room, and they set up Hal Jordan and beat the living hell out of him. And he couldn't do anything because of the color yellow. And then he was like, um, Hal was like, wait, that means he knows everything about us. And he was like, no, he's been ready. He's been studying us, and he's ready for us. He's, oh God. And then he was like, cover us now, Hal. And then target eliminated. And then you see Hal and Green Arrow eventually come out of the cave that they were in, and he was like, he's gone. And he was like, I have willpower, but I'm kind of out of it. And then he was like, "Oh God, how we gotta hurry up? We gotta get them. We gotta get somewhere safe or whatever." So they get to Route 66, where there's a diner in it, and it's a guy. He's reading a book, and he was like, "Hey, I need a first aid kit right now." And Green Arrow helps steady the blood loss from Hal, because Hal been losing blood from that arm ever since Deathstroke shot him, but it's taking him out of it. So Green Arrow is just like, okay, we'll just stay still, go and I'll have you patched up after that. Hal Jordan is knocked out for a bit. Um Green Arrow makes some calls, and he was like, I'll have somebody come picking us up. And he was like, so what are you gonna do? He was like, I'm gonna go hunting. He was like, what happened? And then he's like, what do you think happened? Stupid road trip. Move slow, Hal. And then you see Black Canary comes in, giving Hal Jordan some medicine and stuff like that for his wounds. And he was like, she was like, well, you take it easy because Oliver's out there right now. And he was like, the hell you say? And then he got his ring, and he's going after him. So we cut to the Shadow Temple where they asked where's the bodies at, and he's like under 2 tons of rock. And then he's like, how can you be sure that they're dead? And he's like, I'm sure. And then he's like, then you see the ninjas that are in the castle being taken out by Green Arrow, right? And then he was like, he was like, unacceptable. It's no way in the world they could survive. And he said, if you want to join our league, then this is your only option. And he was like, I did what you asked of me. If you decide that that's not enough, then maybe there's another option. And he's like, oh, how foolish. Only if I lose, I never lose. And then Green Arrow shoots an arrow at him, and then Deathstroke slices it in half, which he was counting on, which zaps Deathstroke, and then Green Arrow was like, "I want answers now," and he ties up the ninjas. Deathstrokes get out of the arrow trap that Green Arrow has for him, and he was like, "This is why we demanded proof." Deathstroke, you failed, and he's like, "Not for long." And as soon as he was about to kill Green Arrow, um, Hal Jordan comes, and he was like, "You," he was like, "Me." And he was like, aren't you supposed to be resting? He was like, nah, I can't let you have all the fun. And then they all have a climatic battle with Deathstroke. Deathstroke is kind of like in the lead or whatever, but Hal and Green Arrow are working together to try to stop him or whatever. And he was like, I know this is our first meeting, time meeting. Ollie One Eye, but I hate this guy. He's like, I hate him more. So the standby, and it's like a combination of them using Green Arrow's iconic punching glove arrow, while Hal Jordan generates one himself through the power of the ring. And they said, we're having a nice drive, and we don't want you to be spoiling it. He was like, this isn't over. He was like, oh, I know, I don't know where we're standing from. It looks like you lost. And they turned Deathstroke in, and Deathstroke was like, see, I told you, it's not over. And then help comes get Hal Jordan, and then they try to blow up Hal Jordan and Green Arrow. Green Arrow shields them from everything, and then they go and fly off and go back on the road. And then he was like, "We thought you never failed." He's like, I don't. Who says my mission is done?" And then he goes down, he gets more information or whatever, and then it's like, the next person you should go after is Barry Allen, the Flash, and he was like, consider it done. And it was like, to be continued in World's Finest, live fast, die now. And this one is about Green Arrow and the Flash. So Barry Allen does his little monologue. My name is Barry Allen. I'm the fastest man alive. And you just see him going through the motions, saving the day, saving everybody. He hears a commotion in the city. He goes running or whatever. And then he was just about to run into a fault line, but then Hal Jordan saves him from a wire that was right there in the path of his running. Barry Allen would have sliced his own neck off by running. He was like, Green Lantern, what are you doing here? He was like, well, before you say anything, I bet this place is wired to explode, so check. And then Barry Allen gets all of the stuff, and he was like, got them all. He was like, good. And then he blows them up, and then he was like, what's going on? He was like, some assassin is trying to kill you. He was like, what? He was like, you know the type, already planning to shoot us. Like I said, he tried to kill Green Arrow and me on the road. We've been searching for him for a while. Intel said that he's coming to Central City. You went on a road trip? Don't be jealous. I'm not jealous. Stuck in the car with you two arguing a mile? Hold, no thanks. and then he looks at the gun that's automatically there, and then of course once again Deathstroke tries to shoot Hal Jordan, but then Barry Allen was fast enough to catch the bullet. He was like, so-called some sort of yellow ceramic coating. He was like, yeah. He was in the opposite building, and he it wasn't he. He was like, yeah, you seem worried. He was like, I should be. I mean, you move faster than bullets. I don't know if I've ever felt safer. He's like, well, I appreciate the vote of confidence. I don't know who this guy is. And he was like, well, he's an assassin, of course. And then he's like, well, I'm glad that I had somebody who has, some expert knowledge on the guy. Um, and then, of course, Barry Allen's monologue is about how he's one of my best friends, but he's cocky, too cocky. And I need to finish this before somebody gets hurt. More problems in the city again. And then we see Deathstroke. He was like, enough of this. Let's see how the speedster does in the air. And he was like, see, this is why he has friends. And then Hal Jordan was like, Hal Jordan creates a green King Kong gorilla to take down the helicopter. And then finally they captured Deathstroke, sent him to jail, and he was like, thanks for saving me. And he was like, well, that's what friends are for. He was like, you know what else friends do? Road trip. He was like, no, thank you. He was like, come on, let's talk about it over our lunch break then. He was like, sure, Hal, great. I only have like $6 left in my account. Spent it on licorice. Red or black? Red. And which was the argument that Green Arrow and Hal Jordan was having when they left the ninja place about the licorice. And then he said, I did what you asked. Get these businesses off of me. He's like, our leadership is grateful that you kept the Flash and Green Lantern busy so they can make withdrawal from Star Labs. They have another task. And then Deathstroke was like, bump this. He was like, wait, stop. But the League, he was like, the League, why you're not the League, which is why I took this job. I wasn't interested in killing those heroes. If I was, they would be dead. No, I wanted to find out who was pulling the strings. So tell me, what does Hive really want from Deathstroke the Terminator? And then he's like, is this the end? And it was like, the story continue in New Teen Titans #2, December 1980. So if you want to see where this the story continues at, you have to read the New Teen Titans 2, Enter Deathstroke the Terminator, which was his first appearance. So yeah, and that was World's Finest Green Lantern and Green Arrow. I'm honestly surprised they didn't try to milk the World's Finest special and try to do Green Lantern and the Flash for the next issue, because that's really what I thought they would have did. But instead, they put the Flash story in this book as well. But overall, it's just a story timeline period piece where, hey, here's what happened before certain things happened in the DC universe. That's all it is. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.